Apyayantu mamangani vak pranaschakshu shrotramatho balamendriyani cha sarvani sarvam brahmopanishadam maham brahma nirakuryam ma brahma nirakarot anirakaranamastu anirakaranam mestu tadatmani nirate ya upanishadsu dharma te mai santu om shanti 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 om. May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, the mind, all the sensory and motor organs and the life force become strong and efficient. I need a strong mind and body to do the spiritual practice. All is verily the one without second, absolute, all pervading, ever blissful existence itself called Brahman. May I never reject Brahman. May the Brahman never reject me either. I am aware that realization of Brahman requires developing many virtues in life spoken of by the Upanishads. May all these virtues be in my life. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the oneness of the whole existence. Let us feel we are like ice cubes in a huge heap of ice. I identify with one of them and feel this is I. This is my size, this is my height, this is my weight, this is my shape. I feel I am distinct from all other ice cubes. I hold on to my separate individuality or ego. I feel proud that I am bigger than others, some other pieces. I compete with those which are bigger than me. By trying to become bigger. With some ice cubes, I form relations. Some are like my parents. Some are like my siblings. Some are like my friends. Some others are like my foes. I am not related to vast majority of them though. But as these cubes start melting, I start seeing this oneness. All the ice cubes, everything seems to be just the same substance. My size and shape and angularities are changing fast. I tried to cling to it, but of no avail. I am dissolved. Am I gone? No, I have become the infinite. I am the all-pervading existence. That was the reality, the truth, even earlier. But I was not seeing it. Now I see it. This is the source of all bliss. I have no desires. I am perfect. I am peace and love itself. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
Got too bright.
So, dear friends, let us begin today's discussion on this great treatise full of devotion, knowledge, yoga, and all that one seeks in life. That is a scripture that comes to us in a very attractive form, the form of stories, so that we get attracted to those teachings and find it easy to imbibe. So, let us begin with the recital of the opening chant, which happens to be the first verse of this volume. So, recite it as loudly as you can. This is the 168th class. So, I think all will be able to recite it very well. So, Vishwajit, try to recite. Huh? Yeah, loudly. जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरत चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि. That from whom creation, sustenance, and dissolution of the universe take place, who is both the instrumental and material cause of it, who is omniscient, the only one having self-mastery, being the one independent entity, who illumined the mind of Brahma with the Vedic revelation, whose wisdom is the wonder of even the greatest sages, in whom the world of three gunas subsist, just as the combination of materials like fire, water, and earth subsist in their causes without changing their elemental nature, in whose consciousness there is nothing false. On that truth supreme we meditate. For last many classes we were discussing the very inspiring and instructive tale of devotion, the story of Prahlada. So, this story of Prahlada today, we will try to conclude it for maybe about 20 last classes. We were discussing this. Uh, that story of Prahlada is very famous all over India. Prahlada is considered the ideal of tremendous devotion, and this devotion is full of knowledge also, not the devotion divorced from understanding and knowledge, because many things, there are people like that who think that just dancing and shouting and chanting the name of God is devotion. Some may be able to practice devotion that way, but in most cases, and Swami Vivekananda has mentioned it, it has a debilitating effect on one's mind, very debilitating impact on mind, or these, that their nerves become, somewhat, uh, what I should say, unstable, and thus they feel a sense of kind of ecstasy. It is not ecstasy, it is the weakness of nerves that passes for ecstasy. And in that, the control of senses is the victim. You cannot then control your behavior, your senses, and it more often than not peters into sensuality and all the very corrupt practices passed on as devotion, or it sometimes gets into fanatic attitude that this is the only thing, this is the only way to practice. It is fanaticism is a disease, as Swami Vivekananda says. It is not spirituality at all, it is not devotion at all. It is becoming fanatic, is a disease like any other disease, rather it's a pandemic. Because it spreads. It is like a virus, fanaticism also spreads fast. So one must be very careful that devotion should never be divorced from uh, knowledge, that is discernment and discrimination. So, this is what you see in this story of Prahlada, and therefore it is tremendously illuminating that lesson that we get here in this story. Last time, and we stopped here when the Lord who appeared there in the form of man lion, Narasimha, Narasimha, and killed the terrible demon Hiranyakashipu, who was almost impossible to eliminate. And that demon was killed by this man lion form of God. And then Prahlada went near this God and started praying for devotion and so forth. And he said, the liberation I will accept if it is the liberation of everyone. All must be liberated. Because already he was seeing the same I in everyone. This is the great message that was imparted there. Aham Atma Gudakesha Sarva Bhutashaya Sthitah, that I am the soul or this I in all different beings. So this understanding needs to be cultivated by a devotee. that God is not somebody sitting somewhere in some seventh heaven, but is in the heart of every single being. There are no two eyes. One, the same eye here, same eye in Tilakji sitting there, same eye also maybe uh, in a bacteria in one's body. Same eye, the eye doesn't become different. Same eye in Tilakji as well as in the chair on which he is sitting. One has to see that all pervasive nature of Atman, and that Atman is pervaded in this body too. So, this is the practice that, and Prahlada underscores it by telling that the liberation, if everybody is liberated, then I want it. I don't want liberation just for myself. So, this is a very philosophically intriguing part, that what is this liberation of all? Uh, well, if somebody becomes devotee, like Ishani becomes devotee, and then she practices devotion hard, uh, and then becomes illumined, full of the Spirit of God, then she will see that she will get liberation. And by this, she will be liberated from the bondage of this body. But does it mean that all other rascals around, they also will they get liberated? Eh? What is this? I don't get it. Well, it is. All means your idea becomes that the same I is in all, and there is therefore no retaining of individuality, and then that individual gets liberated. It is, please remember, it is not somebody going into prison and after serving some 4 5 years or whatever comes out liberated. Mm. That it is not like that. Like our Naomi's that story, that a man was crying on his wedding anniversary day, and early morning, and the lady asked him, "Why are you crying today? This is a joy, our wedding anniversary." He said, "Do you remember that day when your dad caught us sitting together, and he threatened me that now you must marry my daughter, or I am a police officer, I will send you in prison behind the bars for 10 years." And then the lady said, "Yes, so you did the right thing, accepted the right choice, right option." He said, "No, had I opted for the other option, today I would have walked out a free man, you see." So it is, yeah, so it is a free man out of the prison. But one's liberation in the spiritual sense is not like that. It is not I bound and I free. Not like that. But no I. That is the freedom. Do you get the point, friends? Please try to see this. That no I. One without second, God alone is. That is liberation. Otherwise, other people, those rascals, they are bound, and then I am free. No, that is not liberation at all. So, Prahlada therefore says, "This is what I want." And then Lord says, "Okay, ask for any boon." Prahlada says, don't tempt me, O Lord. Don't offer any boon to me like this. I understand that you are tempting me to show the world the supremacy of devotion. Empowered by true devotion, one does not succumb to the temptations of alluring sense enjoyments, which are otherwise impossible to overcome. Mm. See, the power, the supremacy of devotion. You don't get tempted by anybody offering boon because you see through it. It is uh, normally people will say, after all, God is offering the boon. If I don't take it, it will be insult to God, isn't it? Uh, yeah, our desires, they interpret things in a kind of convenient, comfortable way. Oh, I didn't actually want any boons, but when God offered, it would be insulting to God not to accept those. But Prahlada was wise that this is to show the world that if you have devotion, then you will not feel tempted towards anything. God is offering boon. Ask for whatever you want to ask. Ah, and see, so many thoughts will start jumping in the mind of Charlie. What should I ask? I should ask this, I that, that. And a lot of such confusion. Swami Vivekananda tells the story of a husband and wife. A genie came to them and offered three boons. Now, what to ask for? That the uh, husband said, let us ask for a nice house to live. Don't you see that our house is dilapidated and we are poor? So let us ask for good house and lot of money. Wife said, no, first, we have three boons. First, you see, all the people in the neighborhood, they tease us because we have crooked noses. And so we must first ask for the good nose. Husband said, oh, that you can ask later. What does it matter if people tease like that? Let us first ask money. And then, and before this could happen, that wife said forcefully, noses, noses, all that want is we noses only. And then, to their astonishment, the whole body got covered with only noses. Imagine, yeah. And then, oh, then again the second boon, they were so upset they could not even think. Only thought was to get rid of these noses. So they, oh, by the second boon, please take away all these noses. And then the one original nose was there, that also was gone. So the two boons were wasted like that. Only one remained. Now the husband said, hey, let us wait, think about it before we ask. Do not get too emotional. So they said, wife said, okay, at least let us now ask for you and for me. Each of us have a good, nice, pretty looking nose. Husband thought first, yeah, okay. But then he said, then all people around will ask us, how did you get this nice, pretty looking nose? And then we will have to narrate this tale of our stupidity. So ultimately, they decided to restore their one original crooked nose. So all the three boons like that, they were all wasted. Prahlada, he knew that it is nothing to ask. This is the best boon. When once that Holy Mother was talking to others, that if God becomes pleased and asks, "What boon do you want?" then somebody said, "Okay, this should be asked." Somebody said, "Devotion should be asked." Somebody said, "No, knowledge must be asked for." And Holy Mother said, "The best boon would be make me desireless. Let there be no desire for anything. Nirvasana. And make me nirvasana. No desire should remain." That is the sign that the God has manifested. So he says that this is the test that you are putting me through, I understand. That look at the power of devotion, equipped with those all temptations that commonly people cannot resist. God is giving, let us ask for all that. But empowered with devotion, these temptations lose all their force. And like even a big attacking snake, it is said that when a mongoose approaches, the strength of the snake, as it were, goes away. The mongoose attacks and kills that snake. So it is when there is the devotion, what is there to be asked for? Imagine, So Prahlada says, I understand that without this devotion it is impossible to put a stop to the temptation of all the worldly things. You find out some excuse or other. No, I have no desire, but my family needs money. I have to earn for my family. So Lord, make it sure that my family gets lot of money. So now family gets means this fellow also gets, isn't it? So it is somehow people succumb to such temptations. Sometimes in a weird manner that, oh, my spouse is not behaving well with me. Lord, please make my spouse uh, behave nicely to me. So it is now again, what is this? This is no, you should not ask for any such boon. And devotion gives you this power. So it is this power of devotion is being described. And now comes a very important aspect of this devotion, love to God. Ah, that Lord, not that you are giver and I am taker. No, we are independent realities. We are not connected with each other with this kind of relation, because many ascribe such relations, God and I. God is the king, I am the subject. That is why I wanted to point out. Look at this knowledge. God is independent. It is relation of pure love. Otherwise, uh, the king and the subjects, they are connected and interdependent. Oh, it is, I am the king. Oh, what is your territory? What are you, who are your subjects? And no subjects, then what kind of king are you? Uh, Sometimes I am, are you head of the center? Well, that is how it is put. But I am head just because I don't have any tail. So, a tailless head, what does it mean? In other centers, there are many Swamis. So, one is the head Swami, makes sense. Here, if it is the only Swami who I call head, so it is. There is no tail, so I automatically am head. So, this is the relation is like that there is the dependence of each other on each other. Everything in the society, in the world as such, are interdependent. Every single particle in this world is dependent on every other particle in the world. Nothing is independent here. The balance can be just tilted by one particle losing its position. So, therefore, this interdependence, God and devotee, is not such interdependence. And we really don't need each other in that sense. And God is independent entity, uh, ever free. So there is no dependence on anybody, no dependence on devotees. This is God. Therefore, God is everywhere. Independent existence. That is how the world emerges out of God, but without God becoming dependent on it. God is independent of the universe that emerges as its expression, without changing its nature at all. Without any change, the God appears as this whole universe. No change in God. Like the movie screen. It appears as all these different pictures, people here, there, cars running, planes flying, even the rockets are flying. Mm. They, in spite of all that, the screen remains the same. It does not move at all. It is not taking part in anything, and yet without the screen the movie is not there. So it is like that. God and devotees is pure love of identity. Not that the love means if you do like this, I love you. If you don't, then I don't love you. This is the worldly loving relations. You are my somebody, so I love you. Uh, and then what is that nature of that love? I demand from you that you must be like this. Uh, because I don't want my child to behave like this. I love you. You are my child. But then there is a dependence. You are father only by the virtue of this child. This child made you a father or a mother. So it is therefore said that the child is actually the father of father. Because of that child, now that fellow who was otherwise, say, only a man, became father because that child gave birth to the father. Do you see this? Uh, it is not that the child was born of the father. It is, in one way, it is true. But it is the child who gave birth to the parents. And because of the child, they became parents, isn't it? Otherwise, they were not parents. Hmm. So, that is an interdependence. Everything in the world is interdependent. Only God is free because God is everywhere, and therefore the love for God should not be, cannot be for something else. Oh God, make this for me. make my migraine go away, or some such silly thing, that, oh God, I need to get a good dwelling place, so grant me a good apartment to live in. Yeah, it is, that is not really the God that you are praying to. So, the God, as you see here, is not a dependent relationship, not interdependent. It is, you get according to your karma, what you deserve. This is a simple cause and effect relationship. God says, no, in Bhagavad Gita there is a beautiful verse, Na datte kasyachit papam. I do not take anybody's sin. Nachaiva sukrutam vibhu, not even the merit. It is all the nature works it out, that's all. I am not involved in anything. Don't think that there is God who will take away my sin. And there is no such God who will take your sin. What does it mean? No, it is, no, our sin is not taken by anybody. And our merits are also not taken by anybody. God has no role in that. This is a very important Vedanta theory of devotion, that this devotion should not have these strings attached, that God take away my sins. Why should God take? If you love God, you will give some good things to God, isn't it, Naomi? Will you say that, oh God, I love you, take my sins? That is what kind of love it is. It is not a love at all. Why the God should take? I should, if at all to give, I should give some good. Oh God, take my merits. Who says that? No. Take away my sins. God does not take away the sin and nor takes away the merits. All ajnanena avritam jnanam. This knowledge is covered by ignorance, and so you have somebody who absolves you from sin and so forth. There is no such God as taught here in this great story of devotion. So, the otherwise it is subject, God is king. Like in many Christmas carols, Jesus, the newborn king, king of the Israelites. So, king, but that is just a way of praising. In Vedanta, the God, king, and the subjects, they are interdependent on each other, and therefore you have revolutions. The king has to depend on the subjects. And all over the world, history shows how the kingdom was just destroyed by the French Revolution. Very powerful kingdom of once upon a time, but there was the public upsurge, the public were suffering, all people were therefore angry, and that anger became an inferno in which the king and all family of the king, everybody that was connected with that kingdom, all the elites, uh, they were killed. What is that weapon that was used, Charlie? Yeah, guillotine. They were all killed. So, king and the subjects, they have an interdependent relationship. Nobody is the absolute there. But with God, this is a great statement, philosophically, very profound statement of Prahlada, that my relation to you, O God, my or devotee's relation to you, O God, is not relation like that. And we don't seek anything from each other. What a very special idea. We don't seek anything. So he says, O Lord, the greatest of boon givers, if thou art very particular, if you want to give a boon after all, then if you are bent upon giving a boon to fulfill any desire of mine, then please grant the boon that no desire for any boon arises in my mind. That is the prayer of Prahlada. My salutations to you, O the most supreme being. And let there be no desire for any boon. If you want to give me the boon, I seek only this boon. Now, let us feel that sense of renunciation because of the devotion. It is in the beautiful Bhakti Yoga book of Vivekananda. Great book, small, very important book, Bhakti Yoga. Mm. There there is a chapter, the renunciation of a devotee comes through love. Through the love for God, everything else is renounced. It is Swami Vivekananda gives the example that somebody is in love with some other person, but then finds somebody else more attractive. And then gradually the love for that earlier person wanes away and then gets transferred on the new person. Now this new person think of that as God. And the whatever the old attachments were there, old attractions were there, they then go away. Just as in the world we see that the persons they stop seeing each other because the love is waning. There is not much love left there. So it used to be there, but now there isn't much. So gradually the attraction towards that wanes away, and then the new attraction goes on, becoming bigger and bigger in life. So the love of God being the true love, the devotion to God goes on increasing. Narada mentions that very beautifully. Pratikshana pravardhamana, the sign of bhakti, very different from other loves. That while other loves, the love wanes, only attachment increases, which then they start passing for love. But the real devotion, it increases. I had told this example before in explaining this one wonderful teacher, one Swami, had explained it. That suppose you throw a ball up, hmm, like playing, you throw a ball up, and you feel that, oh, the ball is going up, as if it is attracted upwards. But if you observe what happens, the velocity, the speed of the ball starts what? Uh, uh, Reducing or increasing? Reducing, exactly. The speed starts getting reduced and reduced till at one point it does not go up anymore. And then what happens? Hmm? It starts coming down. And while it is coming down, what happens to its speed, Naomi? It stops. No, that speed while it is coming down to ground, it that speed increases because that is the true source of attraction. The ball and the earth, they had that pull of gravitation. Earlier it was thrown up. So that is the attraction towards sense objects, that you don't like it anymore. Like Jitendra would say, okay, I like that laddu. Attracted towards that sweet laddu. How many can he eat? One attracted. After eating half of it, he starts feeling, why did I take the whole? Doesn't the taste goes on diminishing, the joy goes on diminishing. He won't go for the second. Enough. Yeah, enough of it. Because that attraction is like that. It wanes, goes down. But the attraction for God, it increases because it is for the reality, for the truth. And so he says that that I don't want any boon. Please grant the boon that no desire for any boon arises in mind. The most supreme being God, that is the true love that can develop in one's mind. So this is how the practice of devotion, uh, you go to the right thing. There is this beautiful hymn on Sri Ramakrishna composed by Vivekananda. Tomorrow in the after the guided meditation we will chant that. That is that Om Hrim Ritam Tvamachalo. In that one stanza comes about this. Tejas taranti tarasa त्वयि तृप्त तृष्णः रागे कृते ऋतपथे त्वयि राम कृष्णे. That tarasa means those who are having this, very intense thirst. Their throats are scorched. Whole body is scorched. Why? Because they are not looking for water in the right place. They are seeing mirage. Do you know, Vivek, what is mirage? No? What is it? Huh? Huh? They say loudly, what is it? Illusion. Yeah, thank you. Illusion. That is, the water is seen, but it is not there. So normally people see the source of enjoyment there. This is where, if I get this man or this woman, there will be so much of joy in life. What is it? You are running after a mirage, and therefore you get more and more scorched. That's all. Tarasa, tejas taranti. That tej is that scorching that is going on. Tarasa, those who are thirsty. Tejas taranti tarasa. But then, O Sri Ramakrishna, rage krite ritapathe Tvai Ramakrishne, and that intense scorching uh, goes away. Tvai tripta trishna. In you, O Lord, they find all their thirst is quenched there, because now it is real water, not running after the mirage. Run after the mirage, the more and more scorching, no water at all. But then when you go to some source of real water, then Tvai means in you, all this thirst will be completely removed, quenched. It is Rage Krite, Ritapathe. Sri Ramakrishna is described it. This verse is very intense and very compactly, very rich, using very few words. So, your Ritapatha means the path towards the truth, and therefore it will lead to fulfillment, not towards illusion. So, as you go towards that, what happens? Now, that doing that, your this scorching will go away and you will feel fulfilled. That is the difference between devotion and this worldly love. Difference is only direction, running after illusion and running after the reality. That's it, It is, you are seeing, say, a piece of cake reflected in the mirror. And then you go to the mirror, try to get out of it. Now you cannot get it. More the effort you make, the more frustrated and depressed you become, isn't it? Why this person is depressed? What else do you expect if you try to get the cake from that mirror? What you now? You will feel depressed, isn't it? Naturally, yeah, because you are making an effort. I am making an effort to get, and yet you say that God is so merciless to me. Why God makes things so hard for me? Well, there is no cake there. How can even God cannot give you a cake from there? So, but it is simple, some high school physics, that if the reflection is in that direction, the thing is in the opposite direction. And so just turn and you will see the real cake, eating which you will feel satiation. So that is how the whole process is. In devotion, as Narada describes, nothing new needs to be acquired, but only the direction has to be changed. The direction towards the illusory objects has to be turned towards the real object. Get it, Charlie? Huh? Huh? Oh, well, theory has to be practicalized. Huh? Look at those chemistry researchers, there. They have theory and they want to now show it in practice. So, for that, you have to do experiments, you have to have the patience, work hard for years together. How many how years they have put in practicing that chemistry. So it is like that. You have to practice hard for turning the direction of this uh, mind running outward has to be running now inward to God. So this is, he says, you are the supreme being. Then now the God, now he is not exactly the boon, but he tells Prahlada what he should be doing. Narsimha said, yes, true devotee will not hanker for any boon. Yet I bless you that you will be the head of the demon clan for one age. The Sanskrit word is Manvantara. So it is one Manu's age is called Manvantara. Manu is the original being of that age, so Manvantara. So it is, and then you will have me in your heart and you will spread the glory of devotion all around and you will ultimately attain to me as your karma is over. And this is what is called the prarabdha karma. That prarabdha means your body has begun, you are just a child, and so it will live for some time because although there is no desire, yet because of the all the past actions, the body will keep on moving, and during that time, now what will you do? And there is a very funny misunderstanding that many people have, that because a person now realizes truth, what will that person do? That becomes the question. Now, whatever he does, that will be for the good of the world, for spreading this message of devotion. That is alone, that only that thing is going to happen. It is, yeah, it is one, there was one great soul, uh, Chandrasekharananda Saraswati. It is, he was considered a very great soul, and somebody visited their ashrama and then saw that this Swami was doing worship. Now he thought that he has already attained the knowledge supreme, and why is he worshipping? So he should not, that was his idea. He should not worship anymore. So he asked that Swami in a humble way, and does a person who realized God, does that person have to do worship? And this Swami replied in a very nice counter question. What should he do? Whatever. Do you mean that he should keep go and play cards? Eh? It is, come on, realize now, early, before that I was doing worship. So now let us start playing poker. He won't do any such thing. That it is, he will do all those things by which the message of devotion will get spread. So, it is, this is called prarabdha. Many use this word without understanding. The prarabdha becomes meaning, this word becomes meaningful only in the case of those who have realized the truth. Otherwise, they have their karma going on. It is not, there is, the word prarabdha is, has no meaning there. It is prarabdha means now it is gone, as Swami Vivekananda gives an example that suppose the wheel of a cart. Now the cart is moving. The of the two wheels of the cart, somebody breaks the axle. So the one wheel is broken and that is held by this person. But the cart, because of the momentum, it keeps on moving for some time. So that is how, although there is now no karma is being produced, it is still the remnant goes like that. As your karma is over, Prahlada then requested the man lion god to bless his cruel father, and God granted that. The man lion god then advised Brahma that he should never grant such thoughtless boons to demons. It was Brahma who granted the boon to that Hiranyakashipu, and therefore it was so difficult to kill him. I should not be killed during day, during night. I should not be killed by man or animal or any celestial being. I should not be killed by any weapon or any missile. I should not be killed on the earth or in the skies or in waters. Now, how to kill this fellow? So, this had to, God has to take such a form where he was killed. So, he told Brahma, please be careful as you grant boons. So, this is how we are completing this story of Prahlada, very illuminating story. May that devotion come to us, friends. This is the prayer that we can have. It is the this chapter was had the title. If you go to the first slide, you will see how the uh, the demons, asuras, attaining liberation. And they are demons. How do they attain liberation? I know I am aware of the clock, friends, but give 5 more minutes that to complete this story. That these demons, they had intense, uh, continuous thought of God. So, because of this continuous thought of God, and they became merged with God. And this is the example given in the book. Contemplation on the wasps, the worm finally becomes a wasp. Mm. So constant thinking about God, even as enemy, will make one with God. It should be constant thinking. God, my enemy. I'm not. All the time the mind is occupied with what? God. It is very difficult practice, friends. Don't try that. Let me develop inimical attitude to God. 99.99% people will not be able to sustain it at all. So, but those who can, some such examples. So here the story kind of ends that is how Hiranyakashipu attained the liberation. He was one of those brothers who were cursed by Sanaka Sanandana that it is you will have to take birth as demons. And then they were given, okay, you are devotees, so after 3 births you will attain again your position near Lord Vishnu. So this was the two brothers' first birth, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. Then next birth they were going to come as Kumbhakarna and Ravana. When Rama kills them and that one more birth is gone, then it becomes Shishupala and Dantavaktra, whom Lord Krishna kills, and that liberates them. So, very interesting stories here, but so we will stop here and let us chant this concluding verse. निगमकल्पतरुर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुर्हो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः. O devotees, quaff to intoxication. This nectar of the fruit of the tree of Vedas, flowing from the mouth of the great sage Shuka and mixed with the ambrosia from his words. Coming Friday, friends, there will be an interesting summarizing class and on coming Friday on the story of Prahlada. And our Adi Maharaj will be giving this class next Friday. So I see he is preparing a great deal, reading and so forth, asking questions to me. And so he is preparing very well. So please come for that class, all of you, Adi Maharaj's class. So, okay. Any questions about today? Yes, Charlie. Ah.
Okay, here's the reason I said in theory before. There are a couple of festivals coming up. The Pride Fest tomorrow and Juneteenth Festival the following weekend. And I enjoy going to festivals. Churches have booths there, community organizations have booths there. And if I didn't go to festivals, I feel a loss. So what should I do?
Well, the more your mind gets scattered in all these festivals, the practice of devotion takes a beating, isn't it? Yeah, so it is your choice, you know. I will go to this and this and this. The world is full of festivals, you know. So if it is, if you feel that they are very important to you, what can I say? It is, but naturally, you know, something that goes on in that direction that gets reduced in the other direction. So that is obvious that people say, well, I like to go to festivals, like to go to parties, I go to all the family these occasions like weddings and birth party and this that on. So if you do that naturally, what will take a back seat is the practice of devotion. So it is your choice what you want to do. You are a very wise man, and so decide, you know, one should control such pulls to the extent one can. Yeah. Any other question? She has a question. My goodness, she's okay.
Actually, Prahlad has asked that he should not be affected by Maya.
Ah.
And then still he had to lead the worldly life. That means God has not granted the boon.
Mm. Well, that is like Vivekananda, you know. He was told that you have to live like this for the liberation of the people. So that is why it didn't affect Prahlada. But we should not think like that, that, okay, even Prahlada was told like that, so I also will help everybody, and then after curing everybody of the diseases, because I am a doctor, and then I will attain for the liberation. That never happens. So it is the service to Lord, because God said you do it, and so without any interest, Prahlada is doing that. So this is the decision made by God. Thank you, very good. Nice question. Any other question here? Any question upstairs, Eze?
Yes. Question from Beverly Collins.
Hi, Beverly.
Yes. The question has two parts. When all desires are gone, does one drop the body? How does one's body continue if no thought is given to it?
Yeah, the body normally wouldn't continue unless God wants to use it for some purpose. Normally, as Sri Ramakrishna said, the body falls off. If one attains to that supreme devotion, the body falls off within 21 days as the momentum is gone. But if the God wants to use it for some work, like Vivekananda was told, that it is, this is the work you have to do. He got that samadhi where all the world he saw is an illusion. God alone is real, the Atman alone is real. He got that vision. And then Sri Ramakrishna told him that now this is locked. This vision is locked. Unless now you have to complete the work of Divine Mother, then you will get this key back. So that is how, in case of such great people, it happens. For others, they get, their body is gone, they get liberated even before the body goes. Whenever the body goes, let it go. It's like that. Yeah. What is the next part? You said there are two parts, isn't
Yes.
it?
How does one's body continue if no thought is given to it?
I didn't hear that. What?
How does one's body continue if no thought is given to it?
No
Thought.
thought is given to it. It is not that your thought is making the body continue. Because there is this body consciousness, the thought arises. It is like that. It is like the dog. A person takes the dog for a walk and then forgets soon who is taking whom for walk. So the dog is taking you for a walk, or you are taking the dog for a walk. Similarly, the thought is not there, so body will just be surviving till the momentum is exhausted, and that's all. It is no fresh thought except that of love of God will arise there. Okay, then, let us conclude with the closing chant. By the way, this was the last class before our summer vacation. So, summer, there will be many nice summer programs. Already the flyer is out. So, but these regular programs will not be there. So, and oh yes, on coming Sunday, Mataji Prabuddha Prana will be giving talk, a very learned nun from Sarda Mutt. She is touring United States, and with my earnest request, she agreed to give a talk on meditation and theory of sound. Meditation, did you put that poster there? That it has to be changed on the notice board, isn't it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Theory of sound, yeah. So it is on coming Sunday, and after her lecture, there will be the annual general meeting of the society. So you are requested to come for all these. मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, कृष्ण कृष्ण बोल, मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल, केशव माधव हरि हरि बोल.